जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scarlet season number 5. The moments after the national anthem that we've seen on screen, Red Ball T20 cricket tournament that's reaching up its final. It's a 17 participated tournament. Chennai Indians, Refine 2.0, Blue Star, Panthers CC, Blue Dot, CMCC Chennai and Blue Whales. Among which Chennai Indians are the table toppers, played 6 matches, won 5 matches, 1 match went no result, and unbeaten dominance in the points table with 11 points at the first position. They are the first finalists. And for the second finalist positions, 2 teams were competing each other. One is Refine 2.0 who are the second position in the points table, 6 matches, 4 victory, 1 tied game. And the other team, Blue Star, 6 matches, 4 victory, 1 tied game. They both were equal in the points table, 9 points each other. With run rate aspect, Refine 2.0 came in the second position. But still, both the teams were meant to play the eliminator, out of which that Refine 2.0 were beaten up by Blue Star to reach up to the finals. And that's how Blue Star coming on to the finals. They lost only 1 game, that too against Chennai Indians. Other than that, they were also dominant sides in the tournament. Now Blue Star taking on Chennai Indians in this big stage at this wonderful venue, a fresh pitch, hot and humid conditions, typical Sunday meant to be played cricket in Chennai. This action is gonna begin in just 5 minutes. As you could see on screen, the fielding unit came in place. Chennai Indians taking on Blue Star, crucial game. Both good sides had a wonderful tournament around. Now this game is going to be the deciding factor. Speaking about Chennai Indians, they had a track record of batting first every single time they played in this tournament. It's whether they won the toss, it's whether the opposition won the toss. They have eventually batted first every single time and won all the games, except the one went on to be a tied game, in fact a bonded game because of rain. Other than that, every single match was played while batting first for Chennai Indians. So that's one set of strong zone, but on the other side, they have never experienced bowling first in this tournament. That's a weaker aspect of this. In fact, we can't say that as a weaker aspect, but something unexplored. So something you don't know the exact formula on how that works. And suddenly, if you are given to bowl first, you will be feeling that pressure. That's how it works. That's what Chennai Indians were also doing. For the very first time in this tournament, they have won the toss and decided to field first. Not sure what went in this thought process of deciding such things. Maybe it's because of it's a big game like a finals. Typically we used to see teams choosing to bat first even though they have a good track record of bowling first. That's because on a big pressure games you have to put yourself relax while batting first, so that you can score well and then defend and put pressure on the opposition. But whereas batting second will always have its own set of pressure. That's why teams prefer to bat first. But this is very surprising call from Chennai Indians. I'm very much excited to see them bowling first for the very first time, and that too decided by themselves. Openers Saravanan and Vignesh, and Lakshmanan gets the ball. Saravana Kumar have been the leading run scorer. 6 innings, 227 runs, averaging 37. Have been one of the dominant performers in the tournaments. So his performance is very much important in this game as well, along with Vignesh, who's at the 9th position, 132 runs in 7 innings. The other good run getter for the side. So both good batters, both dominant batters who contributed the major portions of run scoring. And they must perform, they must resemble the same today. If it goes out of their way, first ball of this game. Gets off the mark straight away, Saravanan Kumar. Well, speaking about big match players, we always have this culture of players playing for good innings throughout the tournament, becoming the leading run scorer, scoring match after match. What happens is the team get used to such batters. They score well and the rest of the batting unit play around them. And on a sudden game like a finals, if such batters fail to perform, I'm speaking about the worst case scenarios, and the game will go out of their control just because the unexplored batters or the batters who played around the key batters have to take up the responsibility. That's not something that they have regularly done. Vignesh too gets off the mark. Positive signs here as both the batters got off the mark. When you look at the tournament numbers, only 3 times teams have scored more than 200 runs in this tournament. That's just because of one simple aspect. Red ball cricket is different from white ball cricket despite of the format. If it's white ball cricket, you must have seen a couple of extra 200 plus games. But this is being a red ball cricket, have always had a little bit of upper edge for the bowlers to defend the batters or to stop the batters from scoring runs on the board. But not this time, as he cuts it away to the boundary ropes. First boundary of the morning. Positive cricket all round. Exceptional performance, that is, as he is trying to bring the game onto his control. A slight bit of back of length delivery, in fact a good length delivery outside the off stump. He had time to let that come into bat and slice it to the point direction. There was a sweeper cover fielder. Now he's been put on to deep point region to stop the batter scoring runs. Good start for Saravana Kumar anyway. Much better one this time. Lakshmanan is changing his angles, no slips in position, short third man. Backward point, deep point in position, covers, extra covers, and obviously mid off inside the circle. Short fine leg shot mid wicket and long on standing halfway to the 30-yard circle. That's how the field position is meant to be. So this is a two-way approach. When you have a long on, why should you have a deep point fielder? These are two extreme field positioning spaces. If you are bowling onto the stump line, you have a long on fielder, and then there is no need of a deep point fielder. If you are inviting the batter for the cut shot, then there is no need for a long on fielder. Anyway, there might be mix up in the middle. That's why Lakshmanan is bringing on two-way approach in terms of placing the deep fielders. Another good one. Couple of dot balls after the boundary. Good comeback from Lakshmanan as well. That's 6 for no loss after 1. Oh, beautiful shot, Jartis. Just played it on top of the ball, slicing it to the cover point region for boundary. He's looking in fine touch, and most importantly, the outfield suits them well. Look at that. Just a gentle touch. Using the pace of the ball, guiding it to the boundary ropes. Vishal, a warm welcome to the new bowler. Dried up conditions these were when you come on to play in later February or March, April or May at any point in Chennai. This is how the outfield reacts. Dry grasses lets the ball to roll well. Much better pace went on to be a wide ball. So far it's been tremendous batting display from Blue Star. Tremendous in the way, what I meant is it's not about the run rate or it's not about what they have scored. It's about the way how they face the bowlers. Ball after ball, they're meeting into the middle of the blade. They're having clear clarity on where to score runs, which shot needs to be played. That's really good to watch out for. Which is also very much important. Well, speaking about hot and humid conditions, that really doesn't matter to people in Chennai. This has been the culture in Chennai. If it comes to Sunday morning or Sunday, any time of the day meant for cricket. People here love to play cricket. They celebrate the game. Conditions never mattered. Humidity never mattered. The heat never mattered. This has been a long-lasting culture in Chennai. Oh, lovely delivery from Vishal. After a couple of hits and misses, finally gets his rhythm. I was also very much surprised to see why Chennai Indians decided to bowl first. The other surprising thing is we've seen Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, but Chennai Indians is a unique and mixed up name altogether that we haven't seen over the years, even in gully cricket standards. Those names have never mixed up. For the first time I'm watching a team having a name Chennai Indians. Soon we might be watching Mumbai Super Kings as well. But anyway, this is interesting. And the choice that they have taken is very much interesting. That I have never seen teams choosing to bowl first on a big day like a final, especially when they have a track record of batting first every single time they play. It's more like an experimental zone. You may not sure how your bowlers react while bowling fresh batters. How your batters react on chasing big targets or even an average target. Now they go down from Vishal. But anyway, the captain must have had some game plan in his mind. He might have felt that these conditions will be more suitable to chase runs, especially at this point of the year. And also, what's most important is even in IPL standards, you could see when it comes to day games in a hot city, the teams prefer to bat first so that their bowlers will be fresh to bowl in the second innings. Even the batters will be fresh to score runs. When you bowl first, your entire team will be exposed to 20 overs of hot. They have to run, they have to catch, they have to field. They'll be slightly tired, and with that tiredness, they'll come on to bat. Now, the boundary, that is easy pickings for the batter. We can't say that it is proper guidance from the batter. He just opened the pace of the bat and guided it the way where there was a fielder, but it still went away from the fielder. The outfield does the rest. Second boundary of the over, and with some extras came on the way 10 runs so far in this Vishal's over. We also spoke on yesterday's game that spinner has got to do a lot more better. Even though the tournament's numbers were suiting the fast bowlers, well, fast bowlers picked up most wickets here. But anyway, finger spinners can do some magics and miracles that we've seen. Ilan Cheral on yesterday's game played a crucial role on fighting back against their opposition. And statistically, teams batting first have won almost 70% of the games in this tournament. Only 5 times teams batting second have won. That's also an experimental stuff here for Chennai Indians. That doesn't mean Chennai Indians may not be able to win, but the process might be slightly difficult and unexperienced area of cricket. But you have to check how they're going to tackle. Only one fielder outside the circle, it seems. That is fine leg, in fact. 2 fielders outside the circle. Glides it away, beats up the fielder, goes for boundary. Third boundary of this over, and that takes up to 15 runs over. A dominant performance, first boundary. That's coming on to a favourable side. It's on the body line, more like a gifted delivery from Vishal. And he just flicks it away. Nobody standing on the deep. Eventually it goes for boundary. 21 for 0 after 2. Good control over the Lakshmanan. We can also see the wagon wheel, the batters preferring to play as square as possible. Like Travis said, like Michael said, there are few batters who prefer to play as square as possible. Here also you could see most boundaries came at deep square leg, point, cover point. These were the regions where the batters were preferring to score boundaries. It's not like a cover drive or a straight drive or an on drive that got them the boundary. Even we didn't see much of straight batted strokes from the batters as well. This is one way approach. Like the more you play squarer, the more you bring cross bat, you can get more runs on the board. But if you want to save your wicket, if you want to play longer innings, straight bat comes into play. Straighted choice making will not let you out of control. You can score precise boundaries. That's where the difference comes in. And maybe even the bowlers were not inviting them to play on front or straight. There you could see mostly back of line deliveries, which is letting the batters to play in the back foot. This time steps out and goes for a big shot. Beats up the long on fielder as well. but will be awarded one bounce boundary. Not a sixer, but a confident stroke making. There was a long on fielder standing halfway, tried his best but was not on his range. Tremendous shot from Saravana Kumar. He was waiting for this for a very long time. And every over gets a treatment. At least one boundary. Lakshmanan conceded boundary on the third ball of his first over. Now again in his second over he is conceding a boundary on the third ball. Change of pace. Good approach from Lakshmanan. That is a good sign from Saravana Kumar as well. Not getting carried away after that boundary. Sometimes what happens is you hit a boundary and you get overconfidence, and you'll not watch the ball fully. You'll start going for big shots the moment it releases from the bowler's hand. Cuts it away. Punch through the covers. Dominant stroke making this time from Saravana Kumar. He's very good at playing those back foot shots. That's exceptional stroke making. Another back of length delivery bowled outside the off stump. This is not the right way of approaching fast bowling. As a new ball bowler, you should test the front foot of the batter, how well they're coming forward. But it's most like the bowlers were letting the batters to stay on the back foot. Much better one from Lakshmanan. This is the length that they try to bowl, so that the batters stretching themselves forward. The more you push the batters to come forward, there will be a lot of opportunities for the bowlers to pick wickets. 9 runs coming off this over, 3 gets completed, 30 for no loss. Now the full length delivery attempted Yorker over there. This is the length they try to bowl. Let the batter score runs on the board. That's not a problem. To the maximum, all we have to do is to test their patience, to test their footwork. The more you make the batters stretch, that'll be a challenge for the batters to focus. That is most important. As a batters, mostly we tend to stand in the back foot. If it's letting us to play in the same back foot, there is no much movement on the body, we can eventually score runs on the board. Swing and doesn't get the connection that he is looking for. A very good morning to all the viewers out there watching this game on a fine Sunday morning. Sunday is meant to be cricket days, and today it's a special event where India are taking on West Indies in T20 World Cup event at Kolkata, a venue known for its history and heritage, Eden Gardens, and the people known for their patriotism. With some dark memories as well, the 96 semi-final of World Cup, people could never forget that incident. So India must play promising cricket today. If anything goes wrong, people of Kolkata will not bear it. But let's speak about that later. Now it's this game you're watching on screen, Scarlet season number 5. It's having its finals. Two good teams, top quality cricket. Nandakumar, the new bowler.
லோகோ வேற அப்புறம் அதை வைக்கணும். இது வேணாம்.
Oh, lovely, lovely one. You could see that pace. It's quickly skidding onto the wicket keeper. Lovely delivery that is. When a fast bowler starts doing it, cricket gets more beautiful. This weather makes the game more beautiful. In fact, even though there were some fog weathers, there were some breezy climates in December, but this is typical Chennai weather. The ground is shining. It's very hot, to be very honest. Two is the call from the batter, and they are running back for the second run as well. Excellent running between the wickets. Even to all the viewers watching this game out there on YouTube live in your television or on your mobile phone, you must probably be supporting any of these sites, or you must probably be the family member of any of these players. I hope the wife of a cricketer, or the kids of a cricketer, or the family parents of a cricketer must be watching their boys in play. Wish them for a good luck. Comment your opinions about this game. Hopefully this game might be... Oh, beautiful shot goes over the bowler's head. Seems to be a poor connection, and that's what exactly happened. They were reluctant on running between the wickets, hoping that this will definitely go for boundary. Good stop from the long on fielder. This is really a good sign that the cricket culture in Chennai is very healthy. The ground that you're watching, such a wonderful turf maintenance, such a wonderful ground with outfield support. There are two grounds nearby. Punches it through the covers one more time, gets the connection and goes over the boundary rope. This is his go-to shot. Whenever you try to bowl that length, remember this man will punch it on top of the ball on the back foot. That's most beautiful thing. Saravakumar gets into the boundary. It's boundary number 4 for him. 4 overs completed, 38 for no loss. Attempted trying to invade the stumps over there. Continues up to bowl Lakshman and gets to bowl his third over. Sometimes teams use it to have that cushion. They'll be having specialist bowlers for different aspects of the game. Whether it's healthy sign or not healthy, that's a different debate altogether. But a team comes up with a proper game plan with different aspects of the game for different bowlers is more of a good cushion for the captain. So if you're using Lakshmanan for the third time, you might see Mumbai Indians, they'll be having one power play bowler, maybe Trent Bolt, bowling 2 to 3 overs in the power play consistently, because he's not meant to bowl the 20th over or 19th over, because they have Bumrah for that. That's how you have to segregate your bowlers. Tekish outside edge and nobody standing in the deep at third man, gets a boundary. Luck favors the brave, and this time this brave attempt from Saravakumar gets a boundary to him. Good shot that is. In fact, it eventually got a little bit of extra bounce too, but unfortunately they didn't have any third man in position. Well, speaking about bowlers being a specialist, for a bowler's career that might be too optional, If you have such optional approach, I can only bowl in the power play, I can only bowl in the death overs, the captains might not get an all-round credibility from you. It's up to the way how a captain uses a bowler. We can see Mahendra Singh Dhoni using Deepak Chahar for continuous 4 overs when he was representing Chennai Super Kings, and sometimes to 3 overs, because they had some of the bowlers to take care of the death overs. That cushion is always good, but as a bowler, you must be ready to bowl on any aspect of the game. Even if it's 20th over or the first over, that's the way a bowler's career might get into control. A wicket keeper getting closer, that's a positive sign. Good approach from the captain again. Now, this restricts the batter from stepping out. He might be feeling hesitant to step out next time. There is a wicketkeeper behind the stumps watching my foot. What if I miss the ball? I'll be losing my wicket. Much better one, much better one. It seems a tactical approach after getting consumed a lot of damage in the power play. Good venue this have been. We spoke about the Chennai's cricketing culture being developed out there. These kind of tough conditions, these kind of grounds. This is the Twin Park. There you could see other ground at the background behind the mid-off-field. There have been plenty of grounds, like 10 to 20 grounds out there on the outskirts of the city. This is western outskirt. In southern outskirt, there are plenty of cricket grounds as well. There was a time only when Tamil Nadu cricketers and Indian cricketers meant to play in such standard of grounds. But now it's been exposed to everyone. You can play on a standard of a ground that resembles Shepak. You can play on a good wicket, you can play on a good outfield, and most importantly, your game will be broadcast live on YouTube and television. This is a huge privilege for people out there in Chennai to show their talent, to show their cricket, or at least to record their visuals, to save it in an archive. They can get this clip any time of their life, even after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Take back and watch these amazing knocks, amazing performances of them. It's a huge privilege out there. All this is because of the digitalization. YouTube gave the platform free support, and these live streams are taking it to another level. The standards were also increasing. Like, it's not that they play some average cricket or poor cricket. They learn the game, they learn the mind games, they learn the statistics, tactics. Everything was being implemented, so this gives an entertainment as well. There are so many talented cricketers out there in Chennai. But the biggest thing is that this is still in a city standards. You get to see such things only in Chennai, Trichy, Coimbatore or Madurai. We'll speak a lot about that in the next hours. 5 gets completed, 46 for no loss. That'll be a change of end now. But before that, a hydration break. Change of end here. Attempted Yorker. Continues to bowl Nandakumar. I think they should come up with spinners after this over. This is the last over of power play. Still no signs of fast bowling. Fast bowlers bringing up the breakthroughs. The batters were playing confident cricket, meeting it to the middle of the blade, playing into the back foot. Maybe spinners can bring some change in the game, can be impactful with the way, adding up some pressure, leading that to fast bowlers getting chance to pick wickets out there. 2 wickets in this venue that you could clearly see. Pitch number 1 on the left side, pitch number 2, that is where the match is being happening. Hard surfaces, dried conditions supports the finger spinner as well. But the beauty about white jersey is that it eventually supports all the aspects of the game. When you have something to purchase, when you have that extra ability to perform, well, you can definitely have that purchase, even as a fast bowler, as a spinner, as a new ball batter. And in most of the times, the batters will lose wickets in the power play. The ball will be skidding on the fresh and hard surface, where the wicket will be really helping the fast bowlers to do well. But eventually, after 7-8 overs, the batters will start to do well. But in this game, even in the power play, the batters dominated, and adding one more to that. That is a tremendous shot, goes for a maximum. First sixer of this innings, and they takes up 50 up here for Blue Stars as well. He is in commandable position, Saravanukumar, stepping out all the way and taking charge of the bowler. But this time the wicketkeeper is not coming closer, still standing far. They had a long on in position. Another one steps out, this time to the long off region. And this time it goes for 1 bounce 4, signals the on-field umpire. Another good shot, wicketkeeper still standing far. That gave confidence to Saravanukumar. And it eventually hit more beautiful. 12 runs so far coming off this over. Good show from Saravanukumar, entertaining show here. Viewers must be enjoy watching these kind of stroke makings. That's how you have to play the last over of power play. It's been properly dominated power play from Blue Star. Chennai Indians must be feeling the heat after deciding to bowl first. Nothing went on their way. Another time. And one more time it goes for boundary. Misfield, but eventually that's a very good hit from Saravanukumar. Until you bring the wicketkeeper front, he's going to step out every single ball. Last ball of the power play. Change of ball that took some time over there. Saravanakumar. 3 back-to-back stepping outs. Still the wicketkeeper standing far. Will he step out again? There is no need of doing that. The ball went out of this game. It's a wide +4. No chance for the batter. No chance for the wicketkeeper to block or stop that. Extra 5 runs. Definite pressure on Nandakumar. That you could clearly see on the picture. 1, 1, 6, 4, 4 and a wide +4 now. Overall 21 runs coming off this over so far. Still there is a chance. I feel that Saravanakumar can step out again. I don't see a change of length from Nandakumar. He's still bowling full or in good length. Stepping out again. But good awareness from Nandakumar. Goes for wide, but the choice of length is good. Maybe this might block Saravanakumar from scoring runs on the board. When Saravanakumar starts stepping out, he's getting extra back lift. It eventually happens. Even if you're at home watching this game, try practicing this. When you step out, you can get extra back lift that generates more power. It's better than stand and deliver. Single to end this power play. That's a dominant power play from Blue Star. 69 for no loss after 6 overs. Dilip Daniel, the new bowler. First time a spinner into the game. Time for some revolution. Can he be able to stop these batters? Into his 40s now, Saravanakumar. Bowling round the wicket, Dilip Daniel, surprisingly. It's not that easy for an off spinner to adapt to 2 right-hand batters. But one thing is pretty much sure, that Vignesh J have started playing second fiddle. He started really well, but after watching Saravanakumar taking care of the action, he can eventually rotate the strike and give it back to Saravanakumar. As long as he plays, it's always important to give strike to one batter who is looking out to be in good form. And there have been a huge loophole here. No short third man, no third man. Sweeper cover, point fielder, extra covers fielder. A huge vacant space at the third man region. Will Vignesh J take down to that route? Strong shouts. Pitching down the leg, says on-field umpire. I think the choice of bowling looks good. He's not bowling at the area where you can be able to play at the short third man region, and that's why he's not having a short third man fielder as well. But even if it gets outside edge, or even if the batter tries to play reverse sweep, definite chances of boundary are there. Much better approach, trying to block the batter from rotating the strike, so that Saravanakumar won't be coming on strike. This time fingers gone up. Dilip Daniel gets up the breakthrough. Not the right shot. Slight bit of pressure on Vignesh J. Take back a look at that. Trying to play a sweep shot. He was having a pressure on that short mid-wicket fielder. That's where wicket went out of their control. Vignesh J walks back to the pavilion. 70 for 1. It is Blue Star. Balaji, the new batter, comes in at number 3. Good start from Dilip Daniel. When spinners came on to play, wickets started falling down. That's why you mentioned this condition suits well for the finger spinners. The more you do batter, the more you pick wickets. And there is one secret strategy that many good batters even face. There is one short mid-wicket fielder. When you have such fielders, the batters will feel that like a block from rotating the strike. They usually have that one-way approach of playing it to the long on or to the deep square leg fielder for single. If that gets blocked, the batter's mindset gets blocked. We'll speak a lot about that in the next over. 7 gets completed, 70 for 1. $70 for 1. Rishabh Sharma, the new bowler. Good control over there. There is still some action block from Saravana Kumar. Try to bowl a fuller and straight away. Balaji, yes. And strike. I think the key factor with Saravana, with the last over was they had 2 fielders inside the circle at the onside. Catches the call, and that is taken. Soft dismissals here. Rishabh Sharma gets a breakthrough. Post power play is having something to say for Chennai Indians, getting wickets after wicket. Last over we saw Daniel picking up a wicket. Now it's Rishabh Sharma picking up that. Balaji walks back to the pavilion without scoring. It's 71 for 2. Jesudaz, the new batter, comes in at number 4, and wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps. There is something to look out for from this. The middle overs are most crucial. You get a bright start in the power play, and you can be able to maximize that in the death overs. And in middle there are those 10 overs or 9 overs. That's where the innings gets decided, between 7 to 15. And that's why many teams prefer to play a little bit of defensive approach. Catches the call, and that's put down by Daniel. Could have been one more wicket out there. Rishabh Sharma is really good at tempting the batters to play it in the air. They shouldn't block the confidence of Saravana Kumar. He's seen partners coming and going, not getting any constant partner after the wicket taken by Daniel. Swings and got the connection better. The placement seems to be perfect. Gets another boundary over there. It's a maximum, in fact, from Saravana Kumar. This is for that shot on the slot. But he's a set batter. He's not someone who's new to the crease. And you can't expect that to be a catch as well. 49 now, Saravana Kumar. So far, only one batter dominating this innings. Another much better stroke making, and that's one more maximum. Brings up the half century for Saravana Kumar. That comes up in style. Look at that celebration. He still have so many things to left behind. He is not going to stop it right from there. 55 of 27 balls, 200 plus strike rate, 7 boundaries and 3 sixers. Take above Saravana Kumar, 84 for 2 after 8 overs. Continues to bowl Dilip Daniel. Still, that short mid wicket fielder is being a block for the batters from rotating the strike. Definitely, it's pitching outside the leg stump. Trying to take a gamble out there, Dilip Daniel. But it's interesting to watch out for. If there is that one fielder at short mid wicket is not there, they can eventually rotate the strike easily. That's where Dilip Daniel is dominating this innings. Oh, missed opportunity, missed opportunity. Jay Sudas is getting more opportunities. It's a second life for him. Initially, Dilip Daniel dropped a catch of him. Now a stumping missed. Good thing is there is turn in the ball. The more slower and flight you give, there is a bright possibilities of a turn. No chance of going for singles. This is where it gets complicated. Saravana Kumar never got to play against Dilip Daniel, as the rest of the batters are playing Dilip Daniel but not rotating the strike, feeling the pressure, intending to rotate the strike, but there is a fielder at short mid wicket. That's why they gave catches. Definite pressure on Jesudas. He's looking out to be clueless. If this continues on, the batter might start playing poor strokes, blindfolded strokes. That's what he's doing. It's high in the air, but fortunately landed in a no man's area, which brings strike back to Saravana Kumar. Gonna face Dilip Daniel. Will be interesting contest to watch out for. A good bowling Dilip Daniel and a very well set Saravana Kumar with 200 plus strike rate. And now the short third man is being added. You could see that short mid wicket fielder is moving to backward point. In fact, can also cover the short third man region. This is where the treatment differs to a set batter and a new batter. He bowled a wonderful approach from Dilip Daniel, reading the batters really well. 85 for 2 after 9. Continues to bowl Rishabh Sharma. Catches the call. That beats up the fielder. Will be going back for the second run as well. But that outfield gives a different result altogether. Goes for boundary. Adding one more to the name of Saravana Kumar. In fact, this comes from Jesudas. Lucky boundary this is, but eventually this might improve the confidence of Jesudas in choosing a proper shot selection. As it is taking things moving forward, quite good performance that is turning out to be. Catches the call at the long off region. Fielder chases down, but eventually goes for boundary. That's back-to-back boundaries from Jesudos. Full toss delivery outside the off stump. It's still a risky stroke making. There was a fielder, but not closer to the ball. Getting rhythm back after getting 2 lives. 2 opportunities missed for Jesudos. If he plays a long innings today, they'll definitely feel Chennai Indians. They missed opportunities to stop the batter from scoring runs. Wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps that you could see on the picture, setting up the fielders to stop the batter. Catches the call. One more big shot. Risky approach that is anyway. Will be just a single this time. Jesudas is unstoppable despite of getting some thickish outside edges. He's trying to find the aerial route one after the other. Also playing without the helmets. But this man on screen, Saravana Kumar, looking out to be confident after scoring 50 odd, 3 sixers and 7 boundaries. Tremendous performance on a big stage like a final. He performed throughout the tournament, and in a big game like today, he continued out with the same kind of approach. That's why the commentary boxes there you could see the camera person and the commentators were staying out there. Myself, Bharat Sivalingam, your commentator for the day. You must have heard my voices on many of the white jersey tournaments. Catches the call. He wanted that single. Jesudas, bit of miscommunication, but eventually got that single done. That's 11 runs so far, with one more to complete this over. Extra bit of controls over there. The first wicket that you could see on the visual, the one that is to the left side of the current pitch, I think that has more impact for left arm spinners to do. We've also seen matches played in that wicket as well. Big shot, and nobody standing in the deep. Even if a fielder stands in deep, he has no chance to stop that going. Exceptional performance that is turning out to be. Quick 5 partnership as well this is. 1 or 2 for 2 after 10 overs. Vishal back into the attack, replacing Dilip Daniel. Kind of continued with Dilip Daniel. Was the only bowler doing well and having that wicket taking knack as well. Could have broken the partnership. But the captain is having something on his mind, bringing up a fast bowler again. Maybe to stop Saravanakumar. And he is very good at stepping out. Can be quite interesting to watch out for with the way how it's gonna go. Setting things up, Saravanakumar. You can see all the arrangements, the wickets, crease, markings, everything seems to be perfect. What happens is there are plenty of grounds like this, and every ground has an employment team. They stay here and they do all the marking works, ground maintenance, trimming the grass, watering the ground. Everything will done. Like matches will happen mostly on Saturdays and Sundays and sometimes in the weekdays as well. But the ground will be maintained 24/7. Once the match gets over, they'll be cleaning the wicket. They'll be covering the wicket properly. On a match day, they'll again roll things up, do the marking, cut the grasses. So many things to maintain, and that's why every ground will have a ground staff team, marking team, and they will stay with families. And there'll be stay arrangements will be made for them. That's how cricket happens out in Chennai. Currently, as far as I know, there are 10 to 15 grounds. More than that, in fact. And all these grounds have ground staff staying with family. Mostly from the northeast belt or sometimes from south as well. This obviously creates more money on the game. You have to pay money for the ground charges, and you can enjoy your own brand of cricket. There is live streaming, umpires getting paid, markers getting paid. They get a livelihood. Umpires getting regular games and projects as a freelance opportunity. Me myself as a commentator, the live streaming team. The economy is building and it creates so many revenues around. So many people gets paid and some get satisfaction. There is some output on these tournaments being held. Change of pace, but that's been read well by Saravanakumar. Just guides it behind and let the ball to reach out the boundary ropes as well. That is exceptional stroke making. This is what the moment it was revealed that it's a slow ball. Look at the way he reacted lately, and that's where quality batters are coming on to play. I'm really impressed with the way how this man is playing, Saravanakumar. One at 9 for 2. In search of ball in progress now. They were looking for the balls. The ball went out of the ground anyway. There have been some fence at the third man region. The ball can sometimes roll out from the fence. That's what exactly happened. When speaking about the cricketers' economy, cricket have changed a lot. There have been famous sayings that only 11 people can represent India and the rest of the people's dreams might not happen. If you want to take cricket as career, out of 100 crore people, only 11 gets a chance. Those are old sayings. After the beginning of IPL, after the beginning of world leagues, TNPL, every state has a league. And even with club level crickets, the brands are getting involved and paying the cricketers. You get stipend to represent a club team. There are so many ways to make money on cricket. Not just as a player. If you feel your physical time for player has in, you can continue as a broadcast partner, you can continue as a commentator, you can choose umpiring, ground maintenance, cricket analyst job. There are so many jobs running around cricket, and it's not just about India games, it's about so many tournaments. Cricket have 365 days of opportunities, and you can get paid if you develop your skills well. Last ball of this over. Tossed up delivery, punished hard, and that goes over the boundary ropes as well. Another good stroke making to end this over, as this is turning out to be expensive. Look at that. He's having powerful bottom hand domination. Even the boundary line looks closer. Believe me, this is one of the longest boundary distance grounds in Chennai. This man makes it looks like an easy one. 113 for 2 after 11. New bowler into the attack, Saravanan. That is turning out to be a misfield, offers a single. Now Saravanan is going to bowl Saravanakumar. Looking out to be animated Saravanakumar. Wherever you bowl a loose delivery, is trying to make it a huge impact. Not being defensive in the middle overs. I spoke about the middle overs, 7 to 15, the most crucial phase where batters will be acting as defensive as possible so that they can perform well in the death overs to save more wickets. But now looking at the way how Saravanakumar is playing, he's not worried about the middle overs aspects. There must be so many good batters sitting at the dugout could take care of the death overs, and that's why he's also trying to maximize numbers in the death overs. Good hand power. Much better delivery from Saravanan. Good that Saravanakumar is still respecting the bowlers. Wherever the good ball is being bowled, he's acting to be different out there, trying to be defensive. That is where it gets over there. We've been speaking about the cricketer's economy and how money making became easier and upfront for everyone. When I meant everyone, there have been so many cricket matches happening on the calendar. At any corner of the country, you can be a part of it through the covers. As an analyst, as a technician, as a statistician, as a show producer, as a broadcast partner, commentator, live streamer, cameraman, on-field umpire, coach, third umpire. There are so many roles that needs to be out there. Obviously, ground staff, marker, everyone getting involved. If you are so passionate about making cricket as your career, there are plenty of options out there, and it's not just you can make money only for India matches. The opportunities are everywhere now. That is how things were getting into a comfort, trying to rotate the strike in a regular interval of time. Decent over this is turning out to be from Saravanan. Finds the aerial route and gets the fielder's hands as well. That's a breakthrough. Over went on with control, had pressure, and that pressure intimidated the batter to go for the big shot. Better connection, but the boundary distance is very longer at long off in this end particularly. Good catch taken by the fielder as well. That's 117 for 3. Jesudos walks back to the pavilion. Ganesan, the new bowler, into the attack. Oh, the bat flies. It flies almost to the 30-yard circle. Unfortunate. Sometimes this happens when a batter's hands get wet. That wetness on the gloves, that usually don't happen unless you remove gloves quite often. Manoj, the new batter, came in. Who's the run strikers in? Trying to change the bats, it seems, Saravana Kumar. That's much better. You need not to continue playing a longer innings with the same glove and bat. He's at 73 of 38 balls. Came in as an opener. Was one of the top run getters of the tournament as well. Continuing out the same marvelous performance today. That is pretty much important. If you are a champion player, did well throughout the tournament, it is also your responsibility to perform in big stages. I totally agree with the fact that any cricketer has their own freedom to fail, because you can't expect one batter to do every time well. It's better some batters can fail well in league phases so that they can make it well in big stages as well. But some batters usually do well in all the games, and that one big game will go out of syllabus. Continues out to bowl Ganeshan. With this new bat, can Saravana Kumar continue out with the same innings? He was getting boundaries and sixers, more than 200 plus strike rate. Much better one from Ganeshan. Back to back dot balls against the said batter. Especially from this end, straight boundaries are very longer. There you could see so many mango trees out there in White Jersey ground as well. The season will begin in a couple of months, maybe by April or May. We can get to see a lot of mangoes out there. It's a tremendous place at the western outskirts of Chennai. Good stuff from the field. There's so many agricultural fields surrounding that. You could see even after the second ground, the L ground, there are plenty of agricultural lands. Much better one. Just single run of this over so far. Ganeshan is doing amazing job stopping the batters from scoring runs on the board. Another dot ball to end the over. Yet to get off the mark, Manoj. That's 13 gets completed. 108 for 3. Continues out to bowl Saravanan. Seems like a missed opportunity. Maybe 1 or 2 overs Saravanan can play calm and composed cricket. Then the death overs will come in, where they can continue dominating. There will be so many batters sitting in the dugouts as well. Just 2 overs from 15 they can start focusing on increasing the run rate. Now it's most important to not lose wickets much early. It's also not falling on the slot and the wicketkeeper standing closer to the stumps, which is not giving license to Saravanan to explore. If the wicketkeeper stands far, he could definitely step out for big shots. These lengths were not letting him to go for big shots by stand and deliver. If you try playing stand and deliver strokes, you can only play on the back foot punch. Look at that. That's what he continues to do, and there is a fielder in position, but he eventually goes for boundary. This must be stopped. This must be stopped. Copy பண்ணி
இதுதான்
78 of 43. Much needed boundary for Saravanan. There are a couple of misfields here and there. They missed boundaries as well. This time through the covers. This is much better stroke making. Nobody had a chance to stop that going for boundary. Back-to-back boundaries here from Saravanan. Look at that. One more back foot punch through the covers. Looking out to be solid. If it's not on the slot, if I cannot find the aerial route, I can also have one more option. I can play back foot punches through the covers for boundary. An all-round performance from Saravanan. A bright possibilities of his century as well. 82 of 44 balls. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. With just 1 to end the over. 126 for 3 as of now. Dot ball to end the over. Just 8 runs coming off the over. 126 for 3 after 14. Continues to bowl Ganesan. Pulls it away Manoj to get his first runs of the day. Gets up the mark with that single. Gives the strike back to Saravanan. Now this is going to be a crucial phase to watch out for. Ganesan is doing really good. But him as a spinner, can Saravanan take down this bowler? One more time he's changing up his bats. These things might break the rhythm of a batter as well. If he's on a good flow, he should continue batting. There shouldn't be any unnecessary gaps or breaks out there. Anyway, after this over, they'll be taking a hydration break. Should continue to play until then well. Big shot! And no chance for long on to come closer. That's a one bounce boundary. This is what we've been waiting for a very long time. Look at that power generation. That's why he could be able to play those hard strokes. Being so hard on the bowler. If he steps out, the power doubles with heavy backlift. Obviously it's an overhitting shot, but anyway that's his strength. And he's playing for his strength. This is much better. A flighted Yorker, which is not letting the batter to find a way to score runs. He fumbled in the middle. 86 of 48, Saravaнаkumar, which is 14 required for his century. Another slog sweep, got the connection better, and the placement seems to be perfect as well. Goes for boundary. They eventually had a deep mid wicket and deep square leg fielders, but this placement was clearly in between those two fielders, and both of them were not moving for that shot. They clearly know it's a boundary. Look at that. Second boundary of the over. 9 runs coming off this over as well. One thing is pretty much sure, that Saravaнаkumar is expecting the ball to fall on the slot, not anywhere else. Over flighted delivery, but not much better connection from Saravaнаkumar. Full toss. Missed by the batter. Last ball of the over. Squeezes to the point direction. One more boundary. This time it's more of brain using shot. Exceptional stroke makings. This is third boundary of that over came. 13 runs coming off the over. 15 gets completed. 139 for 3. Change of end, and Dilip Daniel back into the attack as well. Now this is where the death over starts. 15 gets completed. 139 for 3. Definite possibilities are of 180 or more than that. In fact 190 or more than that. Only 3 times teams have scored 200 plus in this tournament. Guides away for the ball. Manoj is playing calm and composed cricket. He knows exactly what needs to be done at this point of time. He's trying to block the bowlers from picking up wickets and rotating at the strike to give it back to the said batter, who's in 94 now. Can we see that century coming on the way? Out of 20 matches, 15 matches were won by teams batting first. That's a dominant figure out there. Single is the call, and they were satisfied with that single. We've been speaking about matches that went 200 plus. It doesn't happen more times. Only 4 times it happened, and one of these teams have also involved in those 4 times. Blue Whales 205, Blue Dot 211, Refine 2.0 200, and Chennai Indians scored 206 in their last game when they faced the same opposition, Blue Star. Exceptional stroke making from Manoj over there. And for teams batting first, the maximum target chased in this tournament is 145, and Blue Star are already in 142, which is giving them a huge advantage of dominating this game. No targets was chased more than 150. Whenever the team scored more than 150, they won the game. 100% win percentage. Missing down the leg for sure. That's the line. That's why I was surprised when Dilip Daniel came on to bowl round the wicket. LBW will be cut off from the options when you start bowling round the wicket. That's why many bowlers prefer to bowl over the wicket. But this angle eventually gives something to Dilip Daniel to stop the batters from scoring runs. No boundaries conceded so far. But that streak is ending now as Saravanakumar scores a boundary to finish the over of Dilip Daniel. Boundary to end this over. It's 146 for 3. This was the shot we've been speaking about. Loose delivery. And that's been taken in good control. Moves to 99 now. Saravanakumar. Saravanan back into the attack. Strong shouts from Saravanan. Might be missing down the leg. Now that brings strike back to Saravanakumar, who is in 99 of 54 balls. 1 required for his century. Captain Saravanan A with the ball. Can he stop Saravanakumar's century? A century on a big match like a final will be a huge leverage for a batter. He's the leading run scorer already, and this is adding up. One more. A couple gets the bat. The bat flies and the batter runs. That eventually ends out to be the century, but you don't hold a bat to celebrate that century. Look at that vibe. This is tremendous. This is tremendous. He's taking that bat on field umpire. Very unfortunate. The batters will celebrate century with the bat, but Saravanakumar celebrates this without the bat. Just gloves on top. Exceptional performance right from the beginning. Plays like a leading run scorer.
Audience.
Great work. Exceptional performance. Celebrations. Finds the aerial route. Manoj will just be a single out there. $149 for 3. That brings strike back to Saravanakumar. 2.0 maybe right from here. Century of just 55 balls. I think it's the third century of this tournament. We had already two centurions. Gautam from Blue Dot had a century. Vishwa from Panthers had a century. Now this is the third century of the tournament, and that came on a special event, special day from a special player. Putting up all things together, this is going to be a very special innings. Another one high in the air, catches the call. That fell short of the fielder. Will be just a single. 150 up here for Blue Stars with that single. Definite chances. Whenever team batting first scored 150, they won the game in this tournament. If that goes on psychologically, Blue Stars can make it happen today. Let's wait and watch on Chennai Indians' response as well. Because statistics won't be feeding an entire final. It's all about performances and handling pressure. Just one more to end the over. We'll be keeping the strike back for the next over. Single to end the over. That's 152 for 3. Lakshmanan back into the attack. Catches the call. Fielder under the ball. And that's put down. Getting a life over there. Tried his best, but it was high in the air. And at noon conditions, the sunshine will block the view. To take height catches will be really difficult to grab. But anyway, Saravanakumar's run flow will continue. Projected score shows 178, but they should target something around 190. Must be a good score to defend the opposition. Quite good under control. Tall right-handed batter. Was not wearing helmets. We didn't saw many bowlers trying bouncers today. Most of the bowlers tried to bowl good length and fuller length, which is also one more reasons. Might be a reason why Manoj is not wearing helmet. Onto the pads and the fingers gone up. That's plumb in front of wicket. Quite good under control. Lakshmanan got the breakthrough. Just take back a look at that. Manoj was trying to go for the big shot that it eventually hit the back foot, and you have no other options. So straight away the umpire's fingers gone up. Manoj walks back to the pavilion. It's 153 for 4. Starts off with a single. Bala R, the new batter, comes in at number 6. Anywhere it's been a very good start, very good domination so far in this innings. They should try a minimum of 180. Less than that will not be justification for the kind of innings played by them. Said batter still there. Two's the call. Two is not the call. In fact, they were running very slowly the first run. Must have been tired, Saravana Kumar. He was also playing an entire innings. Just 3 runs coming off this over. Very good over from Lakshmanan, bowling his last over of the day. 1 for 26. Good spell on a high scoring game. Bala will keep the strike for the next over. That single to end the over. Just 4 runs coming off his 18th over. It's 156 for 4. Dilip Daniel back into the attack to bowl his last over. So far maintains a very good number, 1 for 9 in his 3 overs. And only one boundary conceded by him. That too came out against poor delivery at fine leg. Not much domination against Dilip Daniel, even though there was a set batter out there. But the pictures might change all of a sudden if Saravana Kumar takes a gear shift. Opens the front foot and plays at the long on region. Will be just a single. Good stop from the fielder. This stops the batter from finding ways to score boundaries. Death overs have been in good control of Chennai Indians, not letting the batter scoring runs on the board. There was an expectation of 190 and 200 at some point of time, but now it will be an unrealistic expectation. They may try scoring some 180 to a maximum. 190 might be a really challenging number. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection. A slower delivery from Dilip Daniel. Just 3 runs in 4 balls. Seems he's also looking out to be tired. Saravana Kumar. You can clearly see that after that century, he was not getting much better timings. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. Couple of dot balls out there. One more good over this is turning out to be. Last over we've seen Lakshmanan conceding just 4 runs and picking up a wicket. Now in this over we are watching Dilip Daniel conceding just 4 runs. Look at that spell, 1 for 13. An innings where a batter scored a promising century. This man maintains a number of 1 for 13. Catches the call. That gets thickish outside edge as well. As it gets some misfield, will be just a single. 4 runs, 5 runs coming off that over. 1 for 14 ends up with spell Dilip Daniel. 19 overs completed, 161 for 4. Saravanan to bowl the last over. We clearly heard two sounds, will be just a single. This is really good comeback, tightening up the batters in the death overs. From the expectations of 200 to 162 on 19.1. This is really good comeback from Chennai Indians. Of course, it's a big target, but still Chennai Indians gave some momentum back at the end phase of this innings. Goes for boundary after a very long time. Is getting a boundary out there. Good stroke making. Seems it's from Bala R. Trying to play it to the sweep cover region to get that boundary out there. 166 for 4. Might try to maximize something out there. Can be just a single. Still a good comeback. In last 2 overs they had conceded just 11 runs. Adding 6 to that, 17 runs in 15 balls. And 1 wicket as well. Swings it away. There is a man in deep. Will be just a single. Just trying to tune in things over there. Single everywhere. 7 runs with 2 more balls to go. 168 for 4. Still a good total. One more against into the control. Now Saravanakumar will finish things off. To the last ball of this innings, he faced the first over as an opener and he is facing the last ball of the innings. He's tailed till the entire 20th over. One man performance. This is almost 60 runs scored by the team and 100 scored by Saravanakumar. It's one man's domination. Saved the team's numbers. That's high in the air. And that goes for a maximum to finish things off at the death overs. Good finish from Saravanakumar, ending up the innings with a maximum, and the end total moves to 175. This was that last ball, opening up the front foot and finding it to the aerial route. No chance for the deep fielder to grab that. That's the end of 20 overs. 175 for 4 at the end of 20 overs. Blue Star have lost the toss, been put on to bat first, but will be really happy with this performance. With one man's domination, they were managed to score 175 runs. On the other end, it was a really good start from the openers, with the way how we started this innings along with Vignesh Jeevan, and then eventually a couple of batters dominating. Jesudas 16, Bala RK's 10. Overall, it's 114 from Saravanakumar, not out. 66 balls, 15 boundaries and 5 sixes with strike rate of 172 made it possible. With the ball, we've seen a decent performance from Lakshman, 27 for 1. Dilip Daniel being pick of the bowlers, 14 for 1. Rishabh Sharma 31 expensive but 1 wicket on his name. Ganeshan 14 for 0. Saravanan obviously 31 for 1. That's how the bowling card ends here. 176 is the target here for Chennai Indians. They won the toss, decided to bowl first. Might be satisfied or might not be satisfied. This might be 10-20 runs extra they might feel. But what I feel is it was a very good comeback from Chennai Indians at the end phase. This could have been a 195 condition, but they have saved 10 to 20 runs at the death overs. That's how they got 176 target. Might be gettable. So far no team chase 150 plus targets in this tournament. This might be a different game altogether. Let's wait and watch what's going to happen in the second innings. as the players are walking in. 176 is the target here. The Blue Star fielders came in energetic, as most of them spend most time on the dugout except Saravana Kumar, so they must be fresh on the field. But on the other hand, Chennai Indians exposed themselves to hot and humid conditions, are now walking in. I could see one man on the picture. Dilip Daniel is gonna open the innings. Comes into the ground. Not a big target, not a low target. It's something midway. But on this tournament standards on a red ball cricket, this is slightly above average of a tough situation. A challenging target to chase on, not going to be an easy one. So definitely something to look out here for both the openers. When it comes to Chennai Indians, there have been quite a few good performers out there, with the likes of MD Aryan, who is one among the top cricketers, a young and energetic boy, consistently performed well in many tournaments of white jersey, who will be a key performer for them. And along with that, obviously, Saravanan Vasudev is another good commodity. Hardik Hari is also an interesting prospect to watch out for. For the very first time, Chennai Indians were chasing a target that they have showed interest to. Decided to bowl first after winning the toss. Everything is set over there. The openers are ready. The bowler is also ready with the ball. Deep mid wicket straight away for the top order batters. There must be some defensive approach out there. Seems they are trying to go with an off spinner straight away. Or is he a medium pacer? Let's wait and watch, as he's warming himself up. Spectacular knock that was from Saravana Kumar. Scored a century. Off spinner to begin things with. Good start from Manoj. Vishal and Dilip Daniel were the openers. Vignesh have been a pick of the bowler. He is the leading wicket taker. Vignesh Jivanandan, who came as an opener as well in the first innings. We got to see him performing well today. He must perform well in this big stages for Blue Star. And obviously there is Karthik. There is Hema Bhagat Chowdhury. But they are starting now with Vishal. Couple of dot balls out there. Back to back good deliveries. Positive start. That's why it's always a challenge while batting second. If the target is low, you can play positive cricket. If the target is high or above high, there must be real challenges for the batters. You can't let the bowlers to take more control. You start reacting emotionally. That's when this comes in the boundary. A positive start here. Just check the shot. A soft and smoothie stroke making. Look at that. No power involved. Just pure timing. And gets a boundary, Vishal. This is much important. You can't let the bowlers settle in. The more you let the bowlers settle in, the more you take emotional decisions. You try to find aerial route unnecessarily. That's because of the internal pressure on the game. Oh, lucky one that is. Which is also quite good under control. The intention must be to bowl to Dilip Daniel. If there is a single comes in early, as an off spinner, he could have created a lot of impact to Dilip Daniel. But he couldn't get any strike in this over. Now the good delivery. Dot ball to end the over. That's 4 for no loss. Chase Doss with the ball. Played a decent innings and made a good partnership with Saravana Kumar in the middle overs. Now with the ball to support his side. Dilip Daniel for the first time in today's game bowled really well. Exceptional spell from him. Can he carry forward the same form that he had on the field? If that carries forward with the bat, we could see a spectacular knock from him. But what's most important is they should also have a focus on the run rate. The required run rate is already at 9.05. They should maximize the power play to stay in the game. Through the covers, catches the call, that beats up the fielder. Beautiful stroke making from Dilip Daniel to get up the mark. Just simple stroke making, not even a high backlift. Look at that. He saw the ball, he just guided the direction. Oh, that is wonderful. Exceptional stroke making. Positive start for both the batters. Played some classy stroke makings to get up the mark. Seems like they are positive with their energy. They know how to score runs. They've scored 200s in this tournament. Much better one from Jason Dawes this time. Taking much time over that to get things under control. Looking out to be slightly bit challenging as well. Pulls it away, but mid on inside the circle. Couldn't get much control over that to score that boundary. Will be just a single. I think the key factor to chase such targets is we can segregate that into two things. More of one thing. The top three batters, any one or two of the top three batters should perform well. All three performs, that's a different space altogether. Look at the stroke making. Vishal is playing some different brand of cricket. Just squeezes through the point direction. Look at the bat flow. Opens it up, gives the direction, goes for boundary. Cricket looks more easier when such batters start finding gaps easily, but this comes out of hard work and practice. Cricket have never been easy for batters. The more you practice, the more it looks easier. And speaking about making it happen, if all three batters scores runs, it's okay, but at least any one or maximum two of these top two batters should try getting good numbers. That was clearly evident in the first innings. Saravana Kumar scored almost 60 to 70% of team's runs as an opener. That's why the team got a good total of 175. And also it's also important to make some good partnerships. Partnerships are the key to success. A good understanding with your partner, good communication, good yes-nos. If everything comes in place, they can build it to a long partnership. That could take them to a winning margin as well. So far runs came only through boundaries with just one single from Dilip Daniel. Even though it looks simpler, only 4 balls went for runs. Out of 11 balls, 10 dot balls already. The dot ball over there. In fact, 8 dot balls already with this. 13 for no loss after 2. Continues to bowl Manoj. A lovely use of wrist from Dilip Daniel. Will be just a single, giving it back to Vishal. They should try to maximize more numbers, avoiding dot balls, rotating strike in a regular interval of time, and finding the loose ball to the boundary ropes. I think that's the way of chasing down this target. The key factor is to keep the scoreboard moving despite of whatever happens. As of this life quote, life has to move on. Like a scoreboard has to move on. Whatever happens on the wicket. But as far as Vishal scored 2 boundaries, Vishal faced 8 dot balls, which is not healthiest sign for such high targets, even though he's playing better cricket. You can't just score a boundary and keep the other balls going as a dot ball. That may work when you bat first, that may work when you have a target of 140 or less than 140. But this is 176. The more relaxed you are, that's what I've been speaking about. Found the way finally. Goes out of the park straight away, Vishal. That's really good stroke making. Vishal is having a very good talent. Look at that. Just found the way. It seems it went out of the ground and landed onto a water body. So that ball can't be taken. The ball must be taken out from White Jersey Organization Committee. There'll be some one-played ball or maybe a new ball. Most of the instances, if the ball gets lost or damaged in the first 3 overs, there'll be an exchange of new ball. They'll be giving new ball to be played. Good stroke making, that is. This is what I've been speaking about. Vishal should try to maximize numbers. It's not a space where you can stay relaxed. The more you stay relaxed, things will go out of your control. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. This time onto the back foot, and that's been pierces between the fielders for boundary. Good work from Vishal again. This was a quicker delivery from Manoj, and that's been taken in good control. Uses the pace of the ball and placed it between 2 fielders. Exceptional performance, that is. 24 for no loss. Jessedos continues out to bowl. Catches the call, fielder over there as it fell short of him, and in fact it goes for boundary. This is very unfortunate. Should be taken. It's not something way out of his angle. He could have ran quicker, but taken that. But anyway, went for boundary. Unfortunate misfield. Unfortunate for Jessedos. Speaking about shuffling the bowlers, Jessedos was given another over to bowl. It's been the same spell for 4 overs. This is very rare instance in T20 format. As the game evolves, it was introduced back in 2006. That's when the captains used to prefer the same ideas as if they use for ODI format. But after this 20 years of evolution, there have been plenty of approaches changed. Spinners brought into the new balls. Another catch opportunities. Fielders converging together as it landed in a no man's area. Hope he's okay. Yeah, he seems to be fine over there. He was not looking out there. Look at that. Look at that. And that's when it crashed. Hopefully he's fine. Some tests were being taken. They were checking out if he's okay. Well, speaking about shuffling of the bowlers, we've been speaking about that a lot. Spinners came into bowling in the power play. Back in those times, Glenn McGrath and Brett Lee used to bowl the first 8-9 overs together. That's the way how ODI format was treated. But in T20 format now, you get to see bowler A bowling the first over, B bowling the second over, and straight away bowler C coming in for the third over. That's how now the captains were using bowlers, shuffling the bowlers in power play, not letting the opposition to understand the game plan. And then depends upon the bowler performances and the way how they adapt to these conditions, the bowlers will be given much priority at the series phase of this innings. But here we could see Blue Star are using traditional format of giving two bowlers for first 4 overs or 5 overs and then shuffling the bowlers in a regular interval of time. There is nothing called this is the working formula, this is not the working formula. Both the formulas will work on a defined way of approach with the way how the captain is using these talents, utilizing the talents to the maximum. Miscommunication. Dilip Daniel was halfway and he eventually ran back. That's quite good, under control. Quite good, under control. Oh, beautiful shot that is. What an exceptional stroke making. This is really making me happier. Happiness is watching good quality cricket stroke makings. Look at the right hand. Look at the completion of the cut shot. Only very few cricketers could play such shots. Just take back a look at that. He just extends his arms really well. A talented cricketer, Vishal, having all the strokes in his game. I think that is a search of ball. All you have to look at is the right hand when he completes the shot. Look at that. It pierces between 2-point fielders anyway. The second thing, even if it's not going for boundary, that's an appreciable stroke. I'd be really happy if I could get such skills, if I could play such shots. When you play such shots, you will feel so happy that even at your bedtime it will remind you, oh, I played this shot today. And for next week's cricket, it will start intriguing you. When is next Sunday coming? When will we play cricket again? Hope things are okay. I think change of bat being proposed from the batter. Vishal wants an exchange of bat. That you could see out there. Not sure what went wrong, but he wants an exchange of bat. Showing something, some crack over there it seems. It happened in the first innings as well. Saravana Kumar was exchanging his bat, but nothing went on his way much after changing the bat. A few boundaries for sure. Even scored a sixer on the last ball of the first innings. But anyway, was looking in good touch. Should not spend more time. Should not break the rhythm. He was looking out to be in good touch. Scored the boundary. Should face the other ball as quick as possible. Now the more break he takes, the more better the bowler could become. Because you're breaking your rhythm. That's not a good sign for a batter. When things are going good, don't take time for anything. Just play with the same flow. Taking down things with good control out there. Getting himself up ready, Vishal. Can be a single. Misfield offers them a couple of runs on the board. This time it was a slower delivery. In fact, an attempted Yorker from Vishal. From Jesudas. But that's been tackled well by Vishal to play it through the covers. He's having a very good bat flow. And Dilip Daniel's role now becomes so simple. You rotate the strike, give it back to Vishal. Or if you're interested, eventually you can also go for big shots. That is 176 required. It's not going to be an easy game. Pulls it away, catches the call. As it fell short of the fielder. Good try from the fielder anyway. Must be very careful while playing those pull shots, Dilip Daniel. This was that. Almost tried it well. Good try from the fielder. 34 for no loss. Continues to bowl his third over, Manoj. 5 overs at a stretch with the same spell. Not trying anything different from the comfort zone out there, Blue Star. Deep mid wicket in position here for Manoj, and there is a sweeper cover as well. Both the square fielders are in extension. Oh, he's having very good footwork, very good wrist work. An exciting talent to watch out for, Vishal. And they got the second run as well for that overthrow. Go running between the wickets. That brings strike back to Vishal as well. Will be just a single. Just tackling out there with simple things. These were very important at this point of time, as that is taking them moving forward. 3 runs so far. Moves across and finds the aerial route as it goes for one bounce boundary. This time it comes from Dilip Daniel, as he is also taking charge on his part. Wonderful stroke making. He was already prepared. Look at the trigger movement that says everything. He saw a gap and he placed it to the perfect range. That went on to be a one bounce boundary as well. 41 for no loss with that boundary. Nearly 200 strike rate from Dilip Daniel as well. Ball went out. Today so many balls going out, and the fielders were also on search of it. .41 for no loss. The chase is on for sure from Chennai Indians, showing proper ability on that dominance, but we are not sure about the rest of the batters. It's all about one batter playing a very good innings, or maybe one or two batters. That's what happened in the first innings as well. You can't expect all the batters to contribute 20 each or 30 each. It doesn't work that way. Some batters might be having a bad day, some may get out for zero. So the batter does well should also compensate for those batters. Catches the call. This time finds the fielder's hands at the mid-off. That's the first breakthrough here. Manoj gets the first breakthrough. This time Dilip Daniel was slightly overexcited, got carried away after that boundary. That side of the game ground is very long, and mid-off fielder was also tall. That technically not the right region to play or find the aerial route, and no mistakes done by the fielder as well. 41 for 1. Dilip Daniel walks back to the pavilion. Magesh Virat, the new batter, came in. Another good delivery from Manoj. That's excellent over coming to an end. 5 gets completed, 41 for 1. Saravana Kumar with the ball. Pulls it away, Vishal. Another good shot. This time goes for a maximum. All you have to do is you can watch this man play all the day. Look at the footwork this time. The back foot. Immediately rolled himself back to pull it away. Well trained. Moving into 30s, Vishal. Saravana Kumar, who scored a century in the first innings, is with the ball now. But not a warm welcome to him. Deep mid wicket is still left empty. Last over of power play after the hydration break. That is a deep point fielder and long off in position. As it is turning out to be quite good under control. Just everything is perfect. What else you miss? What else you see? There is good footwork, there is good wrist work, head position, timing, bat flow, everything looks out to be beautiful. He's struggling, Saravana Kumar. He's struggling and not be able to bowl. And that's a very long innings. You must be dehydrated. Sodium needed. And it's not that easy. Salt water definitely needed to regain the sodium in the body, the electrol, so that you can get the electrolytes back and cramps will be avoided. Basically, cramps happen when you sweat out while playing. So the more you sweat out, the more salty contents you lose on your body. That leads to cramps. And that's why for a match preparation, many cricketers used to drink salt water the day before the match. And they continue to have electrolytes mixed with water. That keeps the hydration, that keeps the salt content on the body despite of sweating. He played 20 overs of batting. Must be sweated out. Anyway, Rajesh Singaram will be bowling in place of last 4 balls of power play. Oh, look at the flow. Look at the flow. Stops the footwork at some point of time using the pace of the bowler. It's really a very good batter to watch out for. Impressive performance that is from Vishal. If he maximizes the number, stays till 15 to 16 overs, there is a definite chance for Chennai Indians to make it happen today. Not his brand of cricket. Overexcited Vishal. The run rate pressure makes the batters to go out of their basics. You play blindfold cross-batted shots. Of course, there is just 2 balls left to complete the power play. That fear must be there. Wicketkeeper is not standing closer. He can definitely step out. Mid-off and mid-on inside the circle. Stepping out will be a very good option. But he tried playing without stepping out, but goes over the bowler's head for a maximum. A great stroke making that is. He targeted the same region, mid-off and mid-on inside the circle. Opened up his front foot and went over the bowler's head. Classy stroke making. The more you play straight, the more classy it looks and more safe it is. Second sixer of this over. Maximizing the power play with a couple of sixers in the last over of power play. With just 1 ball to finish things off. Last ball of the power play. Sweeper cover in position. Still no signs of long on or long off. He can definitely go over the bowler's head again, or over the long on and long off fielder. This time he steps out, and that goes out to be a dot ball. End of power play 53 for 1. Karthik with the ball. Goes on to the point direction. Will be a dot ball. Flight to delivery. Catches the call as it fell short of the fielder comfortably. He's running back for the second runs. Good running between the wickets from Vishal and Magesh. Still in good control over there. Current run rate is 8.59, whereas the required run rate is 8.89. Almost closer, but at any point of time, even one good over with the ball might take you the game away. That's the kind of pressure you have while chasing a high target. That Vishal should keep that in his mind. He should continue to increase the run rate. He should continue to chase the target over after over. There should be some risky stroke makings. You can't over respect good balls. This is not the type of game where you can respect good balls, choose the poor balls to punish. Will be just a single. Some discussions were going on in the middle as the wicketkeeper is having a chat with the bowler. Seems he understood something that the batters were planning for. To stop them doing that, there must be some game plan put on to stop the batters from maximizing the numbers. Every over they need a boundary. The more you control boundary every over, the more you get into the game. For Blue Stars, the game plan will be simple, whereas for Chennai Indians, they have to make it happen. On that note, I'll say Blue Star are still in the game. They are in the driver's seat. Chennai Indians need boundary every over, despite of whether the wicket is falling or not, whether they new batter or set batter. They must chase the target on. Scoreboard should be moving. It's a boundary. Beautiful shot that is. I was thinking that it is a signal. That's why I was not hyping that shot. But this is really good. There were 3 fielders over there, but still he found some gap. Got the boundary for this over's quota as well. Vishal is heading up this chase well. 62 for 1 after 7. Vignesh Jeevanandam, the new bowler, and the leading wicket taker, straight away starts off with an appeal, but denied by the on-field umpire. He's a very challenging bowler. He's the leading wicket taker of the tournament as well. 17 wickets at the top of the leading wicket takers list as well. Flighted delivery, that's taken care for a slog sweep, and that goes past the fielder's hands, just a few inches closer to the fielder's hands, but anyway goes for a maximum. Got well in the position, but it's a very slow delivery that you can't beat that easily. The fielder's hand was almost closer to the ball. Good shot from Magesh Virat. As it is turning out to be quite good under control. Go running between the wickets. Running between the wickets is playing a crucial role here, and it rolls over the boundary ropes as well. Got another chance to play it, and this time a quicker delivery, slightly quicker delivery. Even though it's not having better connection, the outfield rolls the ball up over the boundary ropes. 10 runs in 2 balls. Not a bright start for Vignesh Jeevanandam, as batters were taking charge against the bowler. Much better delivery. This is really interesting stuff to watch out for. Good comeback from Vignesh Jeevanandam. Positive batting display here from Magesh Virat, despite of being a new batter. So you have to count the boundaries. Every over they're getting a boundary. Like the way how RCB chased the target in the final against Delhi Capitals in WPL final. The tactics that they managed is scoring boundary every over and rotating the strike rest of the balls. That matters. Then only you get 5 balls, 5 runs and a boundary with 9 runs. Or eventually, even if there is a dot ball, that could be 8 runs. Sometimes you hit a sixer instead of a boundary. Then you get 10 runs easily. That's how a chase should be. And that way this over's quota is completed. The last over's quota have also completed with a boundary from Vishal on the last ball of the previous over. They are on track with a proper chase. Swing and a miss. That's a dot ball to end the over. That's 73 for 1. Dravid Dinesh, the new bowler. Glides it behind the final leg region. Nobody standing in the deep. Will be rolling over the boundary ropes. Starting things off with the boundary. Remember, the boundary quota for this over is also completed. This is what the shot we've been speaking about. As simple as it could get. These were gifted deliveries. Dravid gifted delivery, and that's been taken for granted. So boundary for this over sorted. Now all you need is a couple of singles. This time through the covers, catches the call, and that is taken. Wonderful catch. He was rolling himself up, reverse pedaled, and eventually got the wicket. A really good catch. Mageshwara tried to play it over the cover points fielder. Look at the way how he's running. Exceptional catch that is to dismiss Magesh. Dravid Dinesh got a breakthrough, and that's 77 for 2. Magesh walks back to the pavilion. Saravanan, the new batter, comes in at number 4. Starting things off with a solid defense to get things done. These are usual rituals for many batters, that you start things off with a solid defense to get something done up. Your eyes will set on first couple of deliveries. You start middling the ball, then you start building your innings. That's how it works. There is some time for batter as well. The run rate looks fine. They can get time to rotate the strike. A cheeky single over there. 2 is the call, and they were satisfied with a single. The dot ball to end the over. In fact, one more to go. It's 77 for 2. Dravid Dinesh is bowling a wonderful over. Yeah, that's the way how he ends this over. 78 for 2. Starting things off with the dot ball. Continues up to bowl Karthik. That wicket have fallen and it started slowing the game down. Could clearly see over there Magesh was batting in a good flow, giving good company to Vishal. But surely this man will also start picking things up. That is a good pick of the gap as the wicketkeeper chases down. Will be rolling over the boundary ropes. That's white jersey for you. This outfield will never let you pass. Lucky one for Saravanan, but eventually get the boundary done. Good try from wicketkeeper as well. (82 for 2) with that boundary. Almost halfway through this chase, they can be able to pull things off in his good control. Will surely be a dot ball out there. As things were getting into good control. 78 for 2 as of now. Finds the aerial route, catches the call. She fell short of the fielder and eventually gets a chance for the single as well. Got slightly overexcited after that boundary. Good one that is. That goes for wide anyway. Still, this may be a little challenge for them halfway through the second innings. They have to still make 93 more runs. Must be taking a hydration break and strategical break as well, through which they can decide what needs to be done right from here. Getting a single out there with just one more to end this over. In fact, end of that over. Halfway through the first innings, they were also in good touch with the chase, but we got to see less from Vishal after the power play. He was not getting much strike, and was also watching much partners changing in a regular interval of time. Will definitely be pressure on his head to tackle the situation with the same intent. Catches the call as a long off fielder chases down the ball. Will be just a single. Nearly 90 runs required right from here, which is more than what they have scored in the first 10 overs. A lot more to be done. Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. Oh, that's clean ball. Cleaning him up. Jerry came in and brought in the breakthrough that the team was expecting for a very long time. That's a very good innings from Vishal coming to an end. Just hitting on top of the leg stump. Look at that celebration. I think this is very important game in this wicket in this game. Let's wait and watch what's going to happen right from here. 87 for 3. Ganeshan, the new batter, came in and straight away gets off the mark with a single. I think this is where Chennai Indians' patience will be tested, their ability will be tested. They were good for the first 10 overs, but only one batter dominated. But that's how the first innings as well. So it's not about everyone should score, but one should score all the time of the innings. Who's that one? So far it's Vishal. Now he's not there at the crease. Either Saravanan or Ganeshan should take up that responsibility. There is no much time for these batters to settle themselves up for a long time. The run rate is asking. It's already 9.60. The required run rate, current run rate is 8.12. We'll speak a lot about that in the next over. 11 gets completed, 89 for 3. Hema Bhagat Chowdhury, the new bowler, into the attack. He was not waiting, he was not watching, in fact. That's why it's been said a dead ball. He was getting a lot of support from the comment section. We were watching the live comments. There are comments mentioning his name, Bhagat. There'll be a lot of expectations on his name, Bhagat. Can we be able to see some miraculous performance from him? Flicks it away. And nobody standing in the final leg region. Will be easy pickings for the batter. That goes for boundary. Not the right start for any bowler to begin things with, but this is not the end for Hema Bhagat Chowdhury as well. Good shot from Saravanan, trying to capitalize the momentum. He's at the 8th position in the leading wicket takers list, Hema Bhagat Chowdhury. 7 wickets in 7 innings with an economy of 7.65, averaging 18.6. That's really good sign for him. Along with Vignesh and Karthik, Hema Bhagat Chowdhury have always been a pick of the bowlers for the side whenever the team was in need and in pressure. Now there are 2 new batters, so there will be a lot of expectation on wickets to be fallen. Much better one this time from Hema Bhagat. That's 83 of 53. In fact, 82 of 52 required to win the game. Things were quite good under control. As it's taking its own time in the middle, keeping things going forward. Exceptional performance that is turning out to be. Oh, get a bottom edge out there, rolls down the ground, shot third man, chases as it eventually reaches the boundary ropes. Good try from the fielder anyway. Second boundary of the over. This time it's very unlucky to see him conceding a boundary. That's what I've been speaking about. The outfield is very supportive to the batters. Getting things into control. Set himself up. 9 runs, 10 runs came in this over so far. Another one, good shot. That goes for 1 bounce boundary. Saravanan is taking up that responsibility where Vishal let this game go off. Good stroke making. That is not an easy length to play on. Stood in the back foot, found the aerial route where nobody was standing at the deep. That's 100 up here with that shot. Chennai Indians 1 are 3 for 3 with just 73 runs more required to win in 8.1 overs. Another one squeezed through the covers, fielder in position. Single to end the over. Will be keeping the strike back for next over as well. That's 15 runs coming off that over. 1 not 4 for 3. Continues to bowl Jerry. Strong shouts. Sink down the leg. Especially if a batter steps out. You can't win an LBW appeal. There may be any deviation from the angle while the ball travels to. Goes on to the back foot. 2 is the call. Is they satisfied with just the single? Swing and a miss, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for as it goes for wide. Two is the call. Will be satisfied with just a single. Is bowling slower through the air at the fuller length regions. This eventually invites the batters to come in sometimes to find the aerial route as well. Maybe this might be a trap for the batters at long on or long off to end up their innings. Much better length this time. Change of length. Trying to invade the stumps with a good length on the stump line, which is not getting the impact that it requires. Could be just a single out there. We just want to end this over. That's 1 at 8 for 3. In fact, it seems that's end of this over. The scorecard requires some updation. It's taking some time to get updated. Back into the attack. Vignesh Jivananthan conceded a couple of runs on his first over. Now it's a different batter, so he can be able to pull something off to the team side. Chennai Indians were slowly losing the track, and Blue Stars were coming back harder in the middle overs. Quick running between the wickets, trying to balance things up over there. Hundred and 8 for 3. Swings and got the connection better. 2 is the call. Will be satisfied with just a single. Definitely they're losing that track on this chase. Still there is a possibility. 68 of 41 is quietly gettable. But if they continue playing in such way, not trying to go for the second runs, not running the first runs quickly, these were simple measures where the teams might be losing the way while chasing targets. Goes out to be just a single out there. .112 for 3. Good shot at long on direction. The fielder overran and let it go for the boundary. He was not expecting that to happen. Look at that. He just overran and the ball went to right of him. Jerry continues to bowl. Boundary after a very long time. Ganeshan and Saravanan should try chasing down this target as quick as possible. Goes for wide. Swings and got the connection better. The placement seems to be perfect. And it's going for boundary as well. Ganeshan gets another boundary on the over. Couple of boundaries to get things done as the required run rate goes already more than 10 runs per over. Good that he closed the pace of the bat. And that's how it got good coverage on the placement. That nobody's standing at the deep. Two boundaries so far. As it is getting down to a good control, change of field positioning being implemented. After that went for boundary. Catches the call. The fielders converging together. 3 fielders. And nobody caught the ball, to be very honest. And it eventually goes for boundary as well. Third boundary of this over and back-to-back boundaries now for Ganeshan. This is what I've been speaking about. The extra covers fielder, the long off fielder, and the sweeper cover all converged together and eventually dropped. The thing is, it rolls down for boundary as well. We'll be keeping the strike back for the next over, single to end the over. In fact, this seems to be the last ball. It's going for wide. In fact, one more to go. Turning out to be an expensive over. 16 already with 2 more to go. Just getting into good control, rotating the strike, getting closer to the target. The match is on now. It's like both the sides can win this game right from here. That's the kind of mindset it is having.
Once again.
137 for 4. After that wicket, Mari came in anyway. Continues out to bowl Vignesh Jivanandam. Catches the call. Is that fell short of the fielder? Will be getting just a single. And that brings strike back to Mari. Goes down ground. Trying to go for a couple of runs on the board. Will be satisfied with that single. Quite good under control with the way how they're doing it. High in the air, and that is a maximum. Trademark cricket shot that is when it comes to death overs. Ganeshan is leading up this chase with that. Look at that. Opens up front foot and clears the boundary. Amazing stroke making. As it is turning out to be exceptional performance. They just need 31 more runs required to win the game. In 20 balls, turning out to be close T20 encounter. Both teams played better cricket to each other. And once Vishal left, Ganeshan took out that responsibility to not to let the team go out of its winning zone. Continues out to bowl Vignesh Jivanandam. Didn't got much wicket taking opportunities today. Usually a great bowler, but unfortunately he's fumbling in the middle today. Going for the second run, and the throw went on to the wrong end anyway. There was an opportunity for the second run. There you could see. As this fumble, Ganeshan is the non-strikers, and look at that other end. If you throw it at the wicket keeper's end, there have been a chance for a wicket. Mari would have lost his wicket. 30 of 19. Swings, that finds the aerial route and gets the result as well. Goes for a maximum. Another sixer. Look at that shot. Opens up the front foot. Mari this time accompanies Ganeshan and makes out this chase look smooth and easier. 150 up here with that sixer. 152 for 4 after 17 overs. Chennai Indians. Just getting some good control over there. Starts off with the dot ball. Manoj 1 for 22 on his spell. And just down that to the long on region. In fact, mid wicket region. 2 is the call. They'll be satisfied with the dot ball anyway. As things have got quite good under control. Trying to go through the covers, couldn't get the connection that he is looking for. 154 for 4 last 3 balls. Through the covers will be just a single. This is getting tighter. Manoj is fighting back. 21 of 14 balls. I think it's one shot away. If one shot gets done, then it's ball a run. They could eventually get closer to the winning margin. And any good over with the ball will also have something to say. Just a single out there. As things have been quite good under control. One more dot ball on the cards. Assist is taking down things under control. 18 gets completed, 156 for 4. Clean ball to begin things off. 2 overs, 20 required, and Dravid Dinesh came in with a breakthrough. That to the wicket of someone who's have started the destruction. Good one, that Mari's shot cameo coming to an end. 156 for 5 it is as Mari walks back to the pavilion. Lakshman, the new batter, came in. Now 20 of 11 balls. Dravid Dinesh. Starting off with a single. That will move the scoreboard to 19 required of 10 balls. The long off region for single, and every ball gets tighter right from here. The first three balls have been consistent from Dravid Dinesh. Remember, Chennai Indians have won the toss. They have preferred to bowl first. And so far in this tournament, Scarlet season number 5, no teams have won chasing 150 plus totals. The highest target chased here is 145. So if this gets done, Chennai Indians can do something that have never been done in the history of this Scarlet season number 5. And Chennai Indians were unbeaten side in the tournament. That streak can also be defended. Exceptional delivery, that is from Dravid Dinesh. A wide Yorker to not to let the batter scoring runs on the board. This is going to be an added pressure at the last over. 18 of 8 balls. They need at least one boundary in this over. Finds the aerial route, catches the call, and that is taken, and he's walking away. This is very difficult. This is difficult. He tried everything, but unfortunately landed to the sixer line. That had 6 runs. This was that. Look at that. He was far behind and then landed. Now it's 12 of 7. Much needed sixer at this point of time from Lakshmanan. Another 1-2 is the call from Lakshmanan. And he's running back Ganeshan for the second run. Good running between the wickets. Now it's just 10 runs required of the last over, and Ganeshan will be on strike. 166 for 5 Chennai Indians. Karthik ought to bowl the last over, starting off with a wide ball. Now 9 required of 6 deliveries. Long off in position, deep extra cover, sweeper cover, deep mid wicket, and long on by the 5 fielders outside the circle. Swing and a miss, get the connection done. Good work. Attempted wide Yorker that works well in his favour. Karthik, just take back a look at that. This was what he actually tried in the first ball as well. Ganeshan was well set. One shot at the deep square leg region can get them some runs on the board. 2 is the call from Ganeshan. And they can never go for the second run. That's a very good fielding from the fielder. Goes out for just a single. The anticipation increases. This is still a game of both. 50-50 chances for both the sides. 8 of 4 deliveries. I hope it never gets into the super over phase or some tying phase. That's the only thing they have to carry on. Another wonderful delivery. Karthik delivers it under pressure. What a wonderful stuff that is. Look at that. He was expecting that to be a wide. The angle was perfect. He's choosing the right angle to deliver such deliveries. Square leg is empty. Fielder inside the circle at square leg. And he cannot pick anything out there. Karthik is acting marvelous behind. That is exceptional performance. But the game is still not yet over. 2 more balls left. It's up to the hands of Lakshmanan now. He's variating lines and pace. The previous one was way outside the off stump, and this one had a flight and bounce. Now what will you expect? Either of this. Catches the call, fielder under the ball, and that is taken, and that defines who's gonna be the winner unless or until some extra comes up in way. Exceptional job from Karthik. As Blue Stars were making it happen on a big stage under pressure, he delivers for his side, and good catch taken at the point as well. Lakshman walks back to the pavilion. It's 168 for 6, 8 runs needed off the last ball. So mathematically, it's the game of Blue Stars. 2 for 25 from Karthik, and Blue Stars have already won the game unless or until some miracle happens through extras. Naveen M, the new batter, to face the last ball. Now the final ball, and that gets in control. Karthik makes it happen for Blue Stars, and they are the champions of the Scarlet season number 5, the grand final where they have faced the unbeaten Chennai Indians and beaten them up, became the champions of this tournament. Blue Stars played a brave game, spectacular performance, especially with the way how Saravanakumar did well today, scored a century, will potentially be the player of the match. But apart from that, there are few other match winners we have to speak about. The one being Karthik, who bowled the last over under pressure when everything went out of control. Just 10 runs required with a set batter on strike. This man stood up for his side, took himself under control, and made it possible for the side to win this game. Along with the Jerry did well, Dravid Dinesh did well, Karthik being the skipper does his job, Manoj did well in his spell. Everyone contributed to their best. That's how it went on their control. All of them contributed together, they made it possible. On the other end, Chennai Indians fought really well. Initially from the efforts of Vishal, played a classy knock, and along with that Saravana Vasu have also played 26 runs. Ganeshan's 37 not out. All of them put their hands together. Magesh did well today obviously, but unfortunately they were just short of winning this trophy, losing this game by a difference of 7 runs. Leading up, Chennai Indians won the toss, decided to bowl first, but unfortunately couldn't chase the target. The statistic still stays in. 150 plus targets have never been chased in this tournament. So Scarlet season 5 gets wrapped up with this, that Blue Stars are the champions of this tournament.